Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Knuston Farm in a minute. Today I've set up some shortcuts in OBS so I can actually do this right. Yes, I'm using the same music as yesterday because why not? Also because I'm a bit bored. I need OBS to actually be open because I don't have any preview today because I'm using the events. I do have chat open, so hello Alexander. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So that's quite loud. Is that good? Okay, that should be good. Hello Alexander, how are you doing today? Hello to everybody watching the VOD. Today we're being boring and collecting grass again because it needs to be done. There's some small differences between today's stream and the other streams. I forgot to put on my gloves. Where's my other glove? Hello Summer as well. How are we all doing today? Some small differences. Number one, I lost my or didn't lose, I misplaced my e-cigarette last night. Although when I was looking for it before the stream today, I found a box of cigarettes in my room. So I will be actually smoking today, which I don't encourage, but needs must because nicotine. That's just a thing that's gonna happen. Summer is doing well. I'm doing well as well. I've been a bit hectic already today. I woke up at I got out of bed about an hour ago. Hey Faye, I'm doing well, how are you? I got out of bed like an hour ago and I've had my breakfast. I've still got a bit of coffee left. So I'll be starting off with a small bit of coffee and then moving back onto the water that I usually have. So I'm gonna try and do this kind of in character, so this is gonna be a fun one because normally I have time to think before I do a video on Knuston, but now I'm doing it all, and this is going to be about 2 hours or so, where I'm just kind of having to improvise constantly as to what on earth the story is. And I don't normally I can get away with it, but I really don't know now, is the issue. So, as far as the story goes with the live stream, there's now 4G at Knuston, and I found a way to get my phone to live stream and have a chat in. You can't see it; it's out of camera, but there's a little screen. I actually have my phone just out of shot, and I'm reading chat from there. So that's the way things are going. That's the way things are going story-wise. As for the webcam, just deal with it. All good with Fahy. Good. I'm wondering, is the latency a bit of an issue today? Because it has been very rainy here, IRL. There was a pretty good storm last night, and my internet did seem to suffer a small bit as a result. But I do have a backup network I can swap to if there is a major problem with the one I'm on at the moment. I just need to find the password. It's not hacking into somebody else's network. We actually have two separate networks running for some reason. That's the way our modem's working. So if there is an issue with the network I'm on, I will switch to the backup. The issue there will be that you will all have to swap to a different stream page, because YouTube streaming is a bit wonky. Or YouTube gaming is a bit wonky. The music seems very quiet today. I didn't take the time that I did yesterday to set up the music properly, so it's a bit quieter than it probably should be. That's fine though. I can deal with that. It seems fine so far. It's not the it's not a lag latency issue somewhere. It's actually latency between my broadcast and YouTube sending it out. I think I might have set up the stream slightly wrong. Yes, Fahi, the update today is 1.4.2. It's, from what I understand, I had a look at the patch notes really quickly because I was a bit confused myself. It's some multiplayer performance upgrades, support for 16x maps. So the game can now support 16x, so 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. There was a fix for crashing with lots of vehicles, and one or two other things I can't remember. It seemed to be just performance fixes primarily, as well as the addition of support for 16x maps. That's why it's such a small update. It's very, very little changed. Project Cars is also updated, so that bodes well for Friday, and I think there's a DLC due out on Thursday, so I might get the new DLC to add it to the I've got a challenge planned in Project Cars. That's gonna be fun. I got a challenge planned out in my head, and it's gonna involve every car in the game. All I'm gonna say is I've codenamed it Project Hell. I'm gonna try and stay in cab as well, just for the added fun of it all. You got it bad in Galway? Yeah, Galway tends to get the worst of the storms. I'm kind of lucky because where I live is just surrounded by mountains. We're in kind of a weird, funky valley. In fact, I live at the base of a mountain. And now I'm out of coffee. But I'm awake. That's the main thing. And I've got plenty of water, so I've got tons of water. I've got about 10 litres of water in here. So I'm not going thirsty anytime soon. I might drown, but I'm not going thirsty. And again, wearing a hat because I couldn't be bothered brushing my hair and sorting out my hair today. Mainly because I woke up, well, I got out of bed so late. Like, there comes a time where you have to say, no, look, I'm just gonna wear a hat. My hair is so bad, and I've cared for it so little the last few days, I'm just going to wear a hat and I'll have a shower tonight or something, I don't know. I'm hoping to have the hair on show again tomorrow. Assuming all goes well. Now, as a bit of advance warning, there will be background noise a bit later on. My parents are in Wexford, were in Wexford earlier on. I don't know if they're there at the moment. Hello, Dan! My parents were in Wexford earlier on. They're not... I don't know if they're there at the moment. They were at a funeral for a 97-year-old relative of mine. So, you know, that's the kind of age you get to and you think, well, you know what, they had a good long run. They had a really good run at 97, almost 100. You just can't complain about them, you know, dying of essentially old age. In this day and age, you know. And that's a family thing, is... there's a graveyard in Wexford and it's all like 80, 90-year-old members of my family. we went around, I was at a funeral years ago now, and it was just like 87, 92, 110. And this is dating back, you know, this graveyard has been used for about well over 100 years, and even back then it was like 80 and 90-year-olds. Which is insane. My family has insane genes. I mean, I'm not going to complain. The only issue is my family also has baldness genes, so I am going bald. which is why I've got super long hair at the moment. Well, not super long. I've decided to go with the long hair route of knowing you're eventually going to go bald. Although I am in the process of balding at the moment, which I'm not particularly pleased with. If you saw a picture of me from like 5 or 6 years ago compared to a picture of me from now, the first thing you'd notice is my hair is drastically longer. The second thing you'd notice is my hairline is drastically higher. And there's a lot more grey. Especially around the front of my head, so when I got my hair tied back, like I usually do, because it's both neat and surprisingly comfortable. When I get my hair tied back, the front is grey, but the rest is kind of RainbowDave's Technicolor dream hair, I guess. Because I have no idea what colour my hair is. It's primarily like dark brown and black, but I have in the past pulled out bright ginger hairs that have naturally occurred. The same with my mustache and beard. If you've noticed, and I'll just swap to the other camera for a second. Why is OBS not? Oh, because I was changing to the wrong camera. My beard is like 6 different colors. Just like there's black down here. My mustache is primarily blonde for some reason. This is blonde. There's black and brown everywhere else, and there has been ginger. There has been known to be ginger as well. An old woman your mother looks after is 96. She's gone to America to visit her 93-year-old sister. That is a family with strong genes. Because so many illnesses are actually carried genetically. This is where my science background comes in. So many illnesses are carried genetically that it is insane. Breast cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's or dementia, that is actually a genetically based disease as well. And you know, you look through this diseases, 90% of them are genetic or could be genetic. Could be linked to what DNA you have. Although I read an article on BBC was it last night I read this, or was it the night before? It was last night, because I was bored and went onto my phone and read the read BBC News through the BBC News app. And as it turns out, this is really interesting. There's a study going on in Israel at the moment, and they're studying kind of how do people put on weight and what foods affect weight, because you know, traditionally there's been the foods that are good for you category, which are vegetables and red meat in small amounts and stuff like that, and foods that are bad for you, which is chocolate and ice cream and delicious things, although meat is delicious. But as it turns out, the initial results of that study, now it's ongoing, it's a year-long study, but the initial results and the current standings of that study or the current findings, are that those classical descriptions of this is good for you, this is bad for you, are absolute nonsense. There is no food, other than literally poison, that is universally bad for people. There is no food that is universally good for people at the same time. What the study has found, or is finding, I'm going to say has found because the results are so overwhelmingly in favor of this so far that it's pretty easy to draw a conclusion from this. The results are the study is finding that it's not kind of what food you eat that affects your weight and how, you know, your blood sugar levels. So diabetes can be affected by this. Type 2 in particular. Type 1 is more of your body's just not working right, and you have to take insulin, but type 2 diabetes is usually caused by weight. But the study is finding that it's not what you eat that governs your weight and what, you know, if you put on weight quickly, if you lose weight quickly, if you struggle to put on or lose weight. It's not what you eat, or obviously how much exercise you do will affect this, but just from a food point of view, because they're doing a very controlled test, balanced for gender, age, and various different things, which does make it valid, although double blind would be better, but that's impossible to do when you're talking about food. They're finding that it's actually the gut bacteria, the bacteria that live within your gut, your intestines, and there are some in your stomach, but with the stomach acid that's more or less none. But your intestines do have quite a lot of bacteria, and they help you digest food. They are, you know, there are so many good bacteria. There are so many bacteria that are put down as universally bad, and oh, you should never have these. These bacteria that live in your gut, they are universally good, and they do include bacteria such as E. coli, which most people think, oh, that's an evil bacteria. No, it's like 3 strains of E. coli are actually dangerous to humans. Most have no effect, and some, such as, what is a good example, E-core 42. Is it E-core 42 is the strain I looked at? Yes, it was E-core 42. ECOR 42, that strain of E. coli is present in healthy humans. In the oh, where is it found? The lower large intestine and the rectum, down in the very, very bottom of your digestive system. There is a strain of E. coli down there that does nothing to you. It actually helps you digest food and takes nutrients that you wouldn't, and gives you nutrients that it doesn't want. So it's a beneficial bacteria. So, you know, E. coli is actually... E. coli's got bad press, and for good reason. I mean, food poisoning is not a good thing, and the bad strains of E. coli, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, they are very bad. But the good strains are actually very good, and they do nothing to harm your health. But apparently there's 3 bacteria. They didn't mention what bacteria bacteria it was, which is kind of annoying. But apparently there's 3 bacteria that basically mean you're very healthy, and you're not going to put on weight very quickly. And irritatingly, didn't say what they were, but the aim of this study, number one, there's 2 aims. Number one, it's to just kind of figure out how different people can eat the exact same food. One will put on weight, one will lose weight, and we'll say a third person has no effect on them at all whatsoever. And the results basically mean that if this is true across the board, which it does seem to be, that you can send, in theory, you can send a stool sample to a lab, essentially. They will analyze it for gut bacteria, or markers of the gut bacteria, and that's all the grass up now. That's good. They'll analyze it for markers of gut bacteria, and basically to tell you, they'll give you a personalized diet plan for what you need to eat to change your gut bacteria to something that is better for you and your health. That's amazing. This is how far science has got, you know. I want to eat healthier. Okay, send your poop to Israel. What? This is modern science. You know, I want to eat healthier. Okay, send your poop to Israel because that's where they've got all of the things apparently. Where did I put the? Because I want to sell the beets now. How much are we getting for beets? 205.2 per 1,000 liters. I actually need to go out of cab because I can't see around the Mengele. I got the. Why do I have a Massey on that? That's not going to be helpful at all. Mengele is being a bit of a douchebag. There we go. Guess I'm going to be using the Massey. Let's park this guy over here. Do I want to sell the canola? No, I'm going to use the canola to fill up the seed master over there because I want lots and lots of seeds. I just realised I got to turn on the conveyor belt as well. My head is really itchy. I'm not used to wearing hats. I have to turn the conveyor belt on before I do anything else. Was that the T6? That was the T7. From the New Holland pack. I don't know. That's a high hitch thing. Seriously? Don't understand how that's high hitch, but okay. This New Holland over here is actually a T7, not a T6. I don't have a T6 on this farm as of yet. T7 220. I thought it was a 240. Oh, it's 220. And seeing as we've now got to use a different tractor, we'll use the T7. So this is our... basically our utility tractor. The Massey is more or less a yard tractor at the moment. Where's that further in? The Massey is essentially just a yard tractor for now. Because we're not really able to find much of a use for it. Turn off. This is what happens when I get confused about the buttons when the wheel is upside down. That is a really nice Massey. There is one small fix that I'd like to do to it, and I might do it later on this evening. Is the mirror reflectors in the Massey are actually set too far forward. Ever so slightly. It's not a massive amount, so I might just nudge them back towards the back of the tractor a small bit. That's why if you're in cab, it flashes like a madman. Zetor tractors are very popular where you live. That's interesting. Actually, I've never heard of somebody living somewhere where Zetors are a popular brand. Around here it's kind of a... well, it's John Deere. It's John Deere around here, really. Although it's not... it's pretty commonly you'll see Ford tractors. I've seen plenty of those. There's quite a few 7000s around here. Ford 7000s, Ford 5000s. Quite a few Ford Forces because they're some of the most classic tractors you can get. Plenty of Massey Fergusons. I've seen a few 698s. Plenty of 690 series because, again, classic tractors. New Holland's quite popular, but not as popular as John Deere. There's a reasonable amount to... stop, you moron! Gotta reverse now. Reasonable amount of class and case tractors as well. It's... and you name a brand, probably seen it. There's a few Ursus, some Valtra. What else? That's about it. I need to get the skid steer down there, apparently. That was an unplanned little thing. You live in Montana and Zetor is more popular than John Deere. There is genuinely somewhere in the world where some other brand is more popular than Deere. I think that's the most important information we'll ever get. We'll get in this entire stream, is Montana is weird. Montana likes Zetor and hates John Deere. I like Montana. Because John Deere, they might be the biggest brand of tractors, but or farm equipment in general, but the issue I have with them is they don't seem to understand ownership. I don't know if they've sorted this, but back when I was on Bjornholm, I was on when I was doing the Bjornholm series when this happened. John Deere made an announcement that basically if you bought a new John Deere tractor, you owned the machine, but the software was still owned by John Deere. So you were essentially renting your machine that you paid maybe $500,000 for from John Deere, and you'd have to pay them to repair it. You know, they're claiming ownership of it, but you have to pay them to fix the tractor that they apparently own, that you're just borrowing from them. I mean, I'm all for intellectual property rights, but John Deere kinda took it over the edge with intellectual property rights on physical property. You know, there's apparently no owning a John Deere, you're just borrowing it from John Deere. Helena Farm Supply, a Zetor dealer close to me. I may well do. There's, what are the dealers near me? There's a John Deere dealership in the next town over. There's a Pottinger dealership near me, which is why I'm kind of so fond of the Pottinger stuff in game. There is a Massey Ferguson supplier nearish as well. I think there's a New Holland as well. And then up in the north of the county is the Abbey Machinery plant, which I've passed, and oh my god, the slurry tankers they have on show there are ridiculous. I really want the Abbey slurry tank pack to be re-released for FS15, properly re-released. Else I might have to reskin one of the reskins to be a proper Abbey slurry tank that I would see around here. The other tractors seem to last forever, they're really tough. I've heard that. I know old Ford tractors are just beasts, they do not break. But then when New Holland bought Ford, or Ford bought New Holland, or whatever happened that New Holland and Ford merged, the quality kind of dipped. And they're, from what I understand, they're slowly coming back to being unbreakable beasts. But the if you watch One Lonely Farmer, the no-rower kind of put pay to that theory. It's so infuriating to see what could be a very good machine that just doesn't work. Because that thing was impressive looking and just didn't work ever. Why do I have 70s porn music playing? It just sounds like it's out of a 70s porn movie. So, here's the plan. And I do have a plan for once. The plan is, we're going to sell off all the beets. It's a good plan. Once the beets are done, we'll be moving... We don't really need to move the conveyor, I've just realised. Well, we're still going to sell all the beets, because that needs to be done anyway. Once the beets are sold off, we are going to... what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have to bring the skid steer down and move that wool pallet. We'll just move that out of the way. Sell the beets, move the wool pallet, and then I think we'll do some soil mod work because... Oh, yeah, I didn't mention, I neglected to mention this. Soil mod has updated. I'm now using version 2.2.3, I believe it is the current release. If you go on FSUK, you can get a link to the release I'm using. It has added some extra features, and now you can get specialization weeder, I believe is the specialization name. So there is a small chance that I might get a bit bored and edit a large-ish cultivator to just take out the weeds from soil mod and not affect the crops at all. We need to do some fertilizing because the meadow across the railway line has literally nothing in it. There is no nutrients at all. I'm trying to not mince words here, and I'm just clubbing everything. There we go. So I got new soil mod installed. I have vehicle rental, and as you can see, you've probably noticed this already, and I've just neglected to mention it. I've got vehicle rental, so if I go Control P, I believe it is. Yes, I can rent vehicles if I so wish. And that's going to be handy when we get to trying to get silage running for renting a trailer, because I'm going to buy the actual forager. Now we're going to rent a trailer, and I've got real time running as well, so you can see that it's 4:34 already. Okay. I've apparently been going for half an hour. This isn't normally the point at which I'd be ending the... What on earth just threw the New Holland? That was odd. This is normally the point at which I'd be saying, you know, stay safe and goodbye, but no, I'm continuing on because live streams are superior. And I can continue on. Before, the kind of half-hour limit wasn't arbitrary, it was how much can I record that it won't take a day to upload. Now it's just upload it as I go along. So I've swapped to YouTube streaming. And I did do some Donetsk work over on Twitch last night, but it was slow progress and I don't think anybody actually watched. I know BMW popped in for a few minutes. There were a few people popped in for like a few minutes, but it was mainly me and Nightbot just sitting in chat. I was working away and just flicking my eyes over chat every so often, but it was just me and Nightbot doing nothing in chat, which is fine. I mean, I just decided to do it like 11 o'clock last night because I wanted to do some work on Donetsk. So, if you follow me over on Twitch, I'll put up a video. Yeah, I put a video up last night somewhere. I have it privated now, but if you follow RainbowDave on Twitch, I have to remember my own Twitch name. If you follow RainbowDave on Twitch or follow me on Twitter at rainbow_Dave, I think Twitch auto tweets when I'm streaming as well. If not, I'll have to get everything set up so the Twitch does. But I put a video up just before I go live saying that, hey, I'm going to go live on Twitch in a minute. So if you follow me on Twitch or on Twitter, you should get notifications either way that I'm about to go live with some work on Donetsk. And the reason I use Twitch for the Donetsk work, by the way, is very, very simple. Twitch isn't monetized, so I can use all the copyrighted music I want. I was listening to Black Sabbath and AC/DC last night. It's the only reason I'm using Twitch, is just so I can listen to Spotify and deal with the ads. I do talk. The only difference is there's no webcam up. If I need to use the webcam, something's probably gone wrong. I'm relying on natural light to light my webcam, which is possibly a bad idea. So I might have to get up soon and turn on my lights. Which is fun. I still want to know where my e-cig went. Because I had it last night. I swear I put it on my bed and then it disappeared. Yes, I have a Discord button. I don't think I've got Discord. I've got Discord open. Yeah, Discord is free. So I think if you click the Discord button on my Twitch, okay. Why is something has gone slightly awry here? Huh. Yeah. I need to check my settings here for a second and maybe look at the underneath the wheel. Do I have my Discord server open just real quick while I'm here? Yes, I am actually on Discord right now. I've muted myself on Discord, but the link will take you to my Discord server. Why is it saying disconnected? Apparently I'm disconnected from my own server. That's nice. Yeah, I need to check my controls here in where is it? Change driving direction. No. I have a sneaking suspicion something's gone wrong somewhere. What is button 22? That one? Something's not right. Yeah, something's gone wrong here. Let's see if this works now. Yeah, I can't set controls on my wheel. I've got to reload farm sim. Problems. Not entirely sure why, but that's a thing that happened. Okay, so now that works. But I gotta reload farm sim again. To reload farm sim again because... Oh yeah, because I plugged out the wheel, it's now going to recalibrate, so I gotta reload farm sim again to work with the wheel calibration. Do what you need to do. Yeah, I shouldn't be having to do this live. Backspace. Where's all the drive controls here? Good. Is drive control broken or something? That's all GPS. Drive control. It's GPS still. There we go. Yeah, Oh, Farm Sim, what are you doing to me? Where's my joystick? I have to try and... Where's my joystick? Light, please. Okay, so let's put that up there. Let's now try this. Okay. Oh, it's done this again. No. So what's happened is Farm Sim has what's happened is Farm Sim is glitched, so I can now not... I think it's the latest update has done this as well, so I'm gonna have to try and get in contact with Giants. I've got to remap all of my controls. Oh no, I don't? Okay. Will that somehow fix the problem I've been having then? Remap to button 14. Yes, okay. So, as a temporary measure, I have to use my mouse now for loader work, because apparently 1.4.2 Red headphone users, apparently 1.4.2 has an issue where if I have two inputs plugged in, namely the wheel and the... Yeah, that was a weird problem. Apparently if I've got two inputs plugged in, I'm gonna start to... Oh, what's really nice is Logitech has decided... Okay. Remain calm. I've got to do this. Okay. Okay, now bump it up to about 50% again. That's comfortable. So apparently there's an issue with 1.4.2. Where I can't have two inputs. Which is irritating. It's gonna be one of those days where just things keep going wrong, and I know this. I'm not going to complain too much, I guess. Let's just shove it in like this. There we go. Not entirely sure why the shuttle control decided to break like that, but it did. And I kind of don't have any way to fix it without... I'll spend a while later on tonight trying to fix that as well. I've got so many things I need to do today. This is gonna be one of those days where just I seemingly can't do anything right, and there's nothing I can do about it. That'll do. Full. Get moving. So there, I suppose I should mention why I'm wearing gloves. 2 reasons. Number 1, keep my wheel nice and clean, because I'm essentially brushing my wheel every time I move my hands on it. Number 2, they're actually, because I've used the wheel so much of late, there are 2 sticky points on the wheel, right where my hands need to go. So using the gloves means I don't actually need to hold the wheel. I can just use the sticky points. It's cold on Knuston Farm? No, it's not cold. I'm just wearing the gloves to keep the wheel nice and clean. Also, I just find it more comfortable, which is weird. I know most people, myself included, normally just despise wearing gloves for any reason. Unless it's super cold and it's a necessity, but no, I actually kind of enjoy wearing gloves when I'm using the wheel. Especially with racing games, because there's the immersion of wearing gloves and not having complete feel over everything. What temperature is it in game today? 16 degrees. I'm not gonna call that cold. Currently there's a sale running for the Horse Tiger 10 LT, which is 15% off the regular price. Visit the shop for more information. So here's the thing, I just thought of this. I did a reading test a while ago. Now it's one of those online things where you just read a paragraph and hit, oh, I'm done now. And it was to see how fast I can read. And apparently my reading speed is like 600 words per minute. Or something ridiculous like that. So reading chat is literally just, I glance over, read it. I can glance over and read any given message on chat. Which is nice. It means I can pay just that bit more attention to the game. It's even nicer because you guys just do like one line, so I just go, oh, there's a line. This thing needs to be refueled soon. How much? I shouldn't have done that. We're on 42,302 litres of beets, so that's... Are these controls actually working? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Summer. Summer's just said my reading speed will help when many people are on chat and it's scrolling fast. It actually does because I go into much larger streams, casually, and I'm just sat there reading chat and watching the streamer. It's really helpful because I can read books in like 2 days. What's a good example? The Hunger Games trilogy. I was having a very much a down day a few years ago, where I just kind of locked myself in my room and refused to leave. It was just in one of those moods where you don't want to interact with people at all. And I decided, you know, I'm gonna make use of my time. I'm gonna buy the Hunger Games trilogy on Kindle and read it off my tablet. Yeah, because I had an iPad at the time. So here I was lying in bed with the iPad in front of me and the first Hunger Games book, which I read in about 5 hours, I think. Then I bought the other two, and within 24 hours, I had read the entire Hunger Games trilogy. Because I didn't sleep. Well, number one, I didn't sleep, but I read the whole trilogy in about 16 hours. The 7th Harry Potter book I read in 14 hours. For what, 1,000 pages? So, it's kind of fun, but very expensive if I want to constantly read. But yeah, potato days. The thing is, my potato days are most days because I'm usually just sat here doing something or other on my computer. Because that's how everything I do runs, is just, oh, I need to do this, so computer time. But my down days are days where I will just lie in a darkened room for 5 hours because I don't feel like light. Lots of free books available on the internet. Yes, and I've probably read most of them. No, I haven't. I've misplaced Origin of Species again, haven't I? Oh no, it's I think it's over there. Can't remember where I put Origin of Species. That's a book that I can't read quickly. On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection by Charles Darwin. I've tried reading it a few times, but every time it's just like, oh my god, these words are so terrible. It's a book of its time, to be fair, but it is really, really tough to read. The Gutenberg, yes, I've looked at Project Gutenberg. I do have a free ebook on my phone. What is the ebook called? Where's my phone? Here's the second reason for the specific gloves that I'm wearing. Assuming... Oh. Am I wearing the wrong gloves today or something? These are, in theory... I'm wearing the wrong gloves. They should have been touch gloves, but apparently not. They're my alternates. Well, I'm sat in a fence. A hedge. Because yes, I've got many sets of gloves. So now I'm wearing gloves that I can use my phone with, which is helpful. What's the name of the book that I got? I know it's a classic, I just can't remember the name of the book. It's in Kobo. Okay. Apparently my Kobo account has decided to derp. Which is nice. But yeah, I've got the Kindle app, and have I linked it to my Amazon account? No, I haven't. I think it's because I can't remember my Amazon password. But yeah, that's the thing. I do make rather gratuitous use of Project Gutenberg and various free ebooks. I've got like 4 books downstairs that I need to read yet, because my mother got them on sale for like €1 a piece. And have I read An Eternal Golden Braid? No, I haven't. I must look it up sometime. Not right now, but I'll look it up eventually. Let's attack this from a different angle this time, just for fun. Oh, don't tell me it's... Oh no, I was just out of the trigger. There we go. If you had to have just one book for your lifetime, you'd take that one. Ooh. Now there's a question. If you had to have one book, just the one book for the rest of your life, what would it be? I'm gonna be cheeky and say The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is my, it is technically one book. I mean, it's worth like $150, but it is technically one book. Which I do need to get repaired. I'd like to get it restored a bit to the way it should be, because I got it when I was a lot younger. And the kind of golden bookmark in there is ripped to shreds because I was an idiot when I was younger. And somewhere, I don't mean The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm just gonna stop up here and swap to my webcam. I don't mean The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I mean... The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is all of the books. I also have another thing. This is Hitchhiker's Guide, Restaurant to the End of the Universe, Life, the Universe, and Everything. Hey Mike, thank you for showing up. I got distracted by books and stuff, but there is farming going on. My Godel Escher Bach. Is that MC Escher? Am I like reading that correctly? Or am I going a bit wrong? Like Escher the artist and Bach the composer. I'd never heard of Godel. Or Godel? Godel. Never heard of the third guy, but I've heard. Assuming I'm thinking of the right people. MC Escher and is it Hans Sebastian Bach? Is his full name? I think it is. Maybe. That's J.S. Bach, isn't it? Johann Sebastian Bach? I know his middle name's Sebastian. At least I think it is. I think it is. Math, art, and music. So it is MC Escher then. Because I've never heard of Godel, so he's obviously the mathematician. And you got MC Escher talking about art, and Bach writing about music. That I have to read that book now. I just have to. I mean, you got a great mathematician, what I'm assuming is a great mathematician, a brilliant artist, and one of the best composers in history, writing about their specialist subjects. There's no way I can't not read it. It's like reading Origin of Species if you're into biology. which I really need to find my copy of it and read it. Because I am an evolutionist, because I actually respect the scientific method. No offense to people who are very religious, but evolution's kind of been proven. It's a theory because it can't become a theorem. There is no such thing as a theorem in biology. Theory means it has been proven. It is just... It's been proven, but it's a concept. In the same way, gravity is just a theory. Gravity is a concept. It is... Yes, it is a physical force, but it is the concept of that physical force. Same with bacteria. What else is a quote-unquote just a theory in science? Specifically biology. I can't think of any, actually. We got this, the heliocentric solar system is just a theory. It hasn't been proven conclusively, but it is technically just a theory. Is it heliocentric? Is the one I'm thinking about? Is the one where the sun is at the center? Yes, because otherwise it'd be geocentric. Yes, it's heliocentric. I'm one of those people who like tries to know a lot about a lot and ends up knowing a little about a lot. But I know enough to get by. I'm not very street smart though. That's the big issue I have, is I'm very book smart, not very street smart. Not very room smart either, because I've misplaced me bloody e-cig, so I misplaced my e-cig and found a box of cigarettes, which is just beautiful irony. I'm trying to quit smoking. I've lost me quit smoking it, but I found some cigarettes, so now I can smoke. I think my e-cig went down the wrong side of my bed as well, which is infuriating. It's not even the worst thing. There's a reason I intentionally keep the webcam so high up. My floor is a disaster. You can't see that, but it is. My ear is itchy. My inner ear is actually itchy. That is... better. Not really, but kind of. I thought I'd get more money out of all the sugar beets. I mean, 2,000 per trailer load isn't something to be... Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not as much as I'd like. So for anybody who wasn't here yesterday and who missed me revealing it, there will be... And this is an announcement... English. This isn't an announcement about Donetsk. This is actually Knuston related. Pitorius has returned gloriously, and he is releasing a further extension of Knuston. So he's put, from what I can see from the pictures on the work in progress topic, he has put even more detail in. He has extended it further and put in, and he's putting in just a bunch of stuff. So I may swap to Knuston Super Extended once I've done a few edits, obviously, to get things kosher with the storyline. Or I might just stick here. It depends on the progress I make here compared to what Knuston Super Extended is like. Because I don't really mind sticking here with the new version of Knuston out. I don't know, I'll kind of decide when the time comes. So I think this is going to be the last load of beats coming out now. Let's just double check. Oh, that was the last load of beats. Well, there's going to be some left. Yeah, 802 litres. Can I throw this into the Seed Master? If I can throw this into the Seed Master, I'm just going to do it. Ah, sugar beet's not accepted there. Well, let's go down to the shop and sell it then. It's gonna be like €5, but such is life. You type into Google an eternal golden braid.pdf. First hit is a safe site that is a full book. It's got 800 sub pages. Summer is an eternal golden braid actually available under Project Gutenberg? Because I can just go onto the Project Gutenberg site and get it there. I mean, it's not too difficult to find a book on Project Gutenberg. I kind of lost for words at the moment. I'm gonna have to stop in a second and turn on the light. There's something long that I can poke the light switch with. I swear I'm gonna look for something long now in a second, and the first thing I grab will be Macy. It'll just apparate out of nowhere and appear and be like, oh, there it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna park the T7 down here, temporarily-ish. Do I want to? No, I'll drive the T7 back up. No, trying to think of 17 things that need to be done. No, I'm gonna move the T7 actually back up to the farm, and then we're gonna hop into the. Not sure if it is. I'll find it later on. I'll bring the T7 back up to the farm, and then we will crawl down the road in the JCB skid steer, because we need to pick up the wool. I wasn't expecting the wool to fill up as quickly as it did. How are the sheep doing for grass? 4669, that is good. So once we get back up to the farm here, I'm gonna really quickly grab something and turn on my light. So the webcam will probably go wonky for a bit because. Hey James, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying the nonsense of this stream. And yeah, I'm gonna grab something. In a second. I can't. Oh, don't tell me I managed to get. Okay. This isn't lit right now. I've just been holding it for a while. But I will be lighting this cigarette in a minute. As a celebration of freeing myself from this. Booyah! So, once we get back up to the farm, I'm gonna set the... Don't smoke, kids. Bad for you. Once we get back up to the farm, I'm going to park this guy up by the fuel trigger and get him refilling. And I'm gonna grab the telehandler. Don't have a telehandler on this map. I'm gonna grab the skid steer, bring it down to the sheep, because we need to move the wool. I think we're gonna just straight sell the wool. Because that makes sense to me, is selling the wool straight away. Let's turn that off. Get refueling. Get refueling. And we will run over to the skid steer. Set course play to that. I think for logic's sake, we will set the blades against the wall like that. Now we'll go down to the sheep at the high speed of 20 kilometers an hour. In fact, I'm gonna be cheeky. Cruise control on. I'll turn on the light while the JCB drives itself down. There we go. And apparently the JCB itself is drunk, which is lovely. Now my seat is going. There we go. I have to be honest. I don't actually see this thing having 100 liters of fuel. I think Giants went a bit overboard putting fuel in this thing. I'm not going to complain, but I think 100 liters is a bit overkill. I think a 50-liter tank would be more than enough for this. So let's drive extremely slowly down to the Jeep. And I know I could use the Profi upper and slide the wool around, but I want to do this properly. 100 does seem like too much. I think 50 is just... 50 seems more realistic for a tank, for something this size. I mean, it's smaller than a car. Cars have like 30 or 40, maybe 50-liter fuel tank. And this thing I can't see having 100. I mean, yes, it's got all of the torque, but it's a skid steer. I think even 50 would be too much. Maybe a 25, 30-liter fuel tank would be more than enough for this thing. Because like even on a farm, this thing wouldn't get used constantly. And this is the eco version, so it's presumably fuel efficient. So you might be able to get away with a 15-liter tank. That's just me criticizing Giants, really. Now in reality this might have a 100-liter fuel tank and just run forever, which would be amazing and probably a good idea for a piece of agricultural equipment. Except this wouldn't really be used in agriculture, I don't think. I think in reality you'd have something like a cat skid steer, or maybe a Volvo or something like that. I wouldn't think you'd have many JCBs. Bobcats even. Now I don't know how much money I'm gonna make from this wool, but it needs to be sold. It seems like the wool's gonna be sold off a lot more often than the blades on the mingle will need replacing, so. Do this in cab because why not? Oh, I'm too low. Too high. That works, I guess. We're not going to be going fast enough to lose it. Now I'm just driving from memory because I can't say a thing. This is dangerous. I like it. So this skid steer is going to be kind of a yard tractor down this end of the farm. Because down this end is basically going to be all loader work. Especially with the cows and the sheep concentrated down here. I don't see the need quite yet to have a tractor down here full time, so having a skid steer down here would be more than enough. We've used a litre of fuel, and we've made... Okay, so it's obviously just €1 or €1 per quote-unquote litre of wool. That makes sense to me. I'm gonna be honest, that makes sense. So I'm gonna put the skid steer in down over here, the sheep. And then we are going to grab... What do I want to do next? Because there's a few things I need to do. And I think right now the priority should be getting the fields fertilized, because that's going to be something that definitely needs doing. So I'll just pull the skid steer in over here, and we're going to tab into the... Now we're going to use the Deutz for this. We can tab to it. There we go. We're going to use the Deutz for this, because we haven't used the Deutz in a while. And we don't need to throw down any additional moisture just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the... I think it's in this one. The fertilizer spinner. Obviously we're wrong, I'm thinking it was there. Or down this end of the farm at all. It's over there. So I'm just going to reverse up to it. We're going to use the spinner, and we're going to lay down some... we're going to go up to the field across... yeah, you can see where I dropped up the plough a while back. We're going to go up to the field across the railway tracks. And we're going to lay down some PK. Have I tried the lakeside map? No. I don't think so anyway. Most of the maps that I've tried out are on the channel. There's one or two that are just edits of Westbridge Hills that I've messed about on for a while, but most of the maps I have tried are on the channel somewhere or other. I tend not to look at too many maps anyway, because as I kind of proved... Was that the turn I was supposed to take? That was in fact the turn I was supposed to take. He also made Blackrock Valley. I might try Lakeside then. But I've kind of proved time and again, especially over on Sunday, that when I look at a map, I get hypercritical. And I look at every small detail that's wrong. Now I know I've made major mistakes here. All the buildings are floating in main yard because I didn't realise I could have just used the level brush. Or the replace brush to completely level the yard. So all of the buildings in the yard are in fact floating. There are two walls that are clipped into each other that are a glitch fest. What else did I do wrong? Oh yeah, if I reset too many vehicles or pieces of equipment, say I reset everything on the map, at least one item would get stuck within the compost master because I didn't change the triggers there. And the compost master is actually within the vehicle reset trigger. Anyways, I don't think I've seen any. Don't think I've looked at any of Stevie's maps personally. I've watched Ian Robson's Let's Play on Blackrock Valley, which does look like an impressive map, but I haven't personally played any. I'm at minus 60,000 euro. Okay. He's a quality map maker. I like him. Although I probably find some errors. I'm gonna real quick show you what happens when I bring up the log in this map. That's for the Hitman stuff. Where's it loading the map? Up here. Oh, have I managed... Have I fixed the... Yeah, I think I've actually fixed all the errors that I had with this map. Oh no! Error, same class name used multiple times. Fermenting silo. I've caused the call stack error. Or, no, that's just a call stack loading in. That's fine. That's not too much. Not too much wrong with the map. To bring up the log while in game, if you have the developer controls enabled, you press the it's the tilde key, and the one beside the one on the one that's above the tab key. If you press that twice, you can use page up and page down to. Well, say I guess, for example, I'm gonna do something cheeky here. If I want to analyze this vehicle right now, there's all the problems with the vehicle. Now it's not set on a flat plane because it's on a slope, but it'll check the vehicle. How do you enable developer controls? I'll show you. I'll just swap to the other camera for a second, because I need to ensure this is correct. And I can get into the folders and stuff. Documents, my games, Farm Sim. Is it this XML you need to edit? Yes. Yes. So, just need to turn off something in there. So this is the game XML, which is found in your My Games folder in Farming Simulator 2015. It's going to be down here somewhere. You open this up, and down towards the bottom, if you got Notepad++, or you can open it up in Notepad as well. Down here is the development section. By default, this is set to false. If you change that to say true, reload the game. You can use the developer controls, which some of them are pretty funky. Now, I'm not going to use all of them, but you can bring up your FPS in game, so I'm running 60 FPS if I look that way, and it dips over there because there's so much going on. You can... Most buttons have... You have Notepad++, that makes it a lot easier. No problem. I've got to switch back to the other scene first. I can't really do that. Just gotta tab out a game really quickly and just turn off that. Close Notepad, and there we go. So a lot of the stuff to do with Farm Sim is just done by editing Notepad. Or editing XMLs and stuff like that. And when we get further into Donetsk, I'll be showing how to put the compost master and the seed master in, because I do plan on having them in the map. So we're going to lay down some PK, because this has no nutrients whatsoever. And what we're going to do once we got the PK in... Now this, luckily, the meadows don't need any herbicides. So I can manage the moisture on meadows by just deciding, okay, this meadow's got enough moisture for now, which it does. It's 71%, it's a bit high. I can manage it just by, deciding, okay, enough moisture, I'm going to use the fert spinner. Or it needs moisture, okay, I'm going to use the sprayer instead. Now in time we'll hopefully be using slurry once we got the BGA up and running, which will be pretty soon, I think. That's going to be our next investment, is in equipment to run the BGA, which is essentially just going to be a silage trailer and a thing. A forage harvester, which I'm going to go to the shop real quick and show you which one I'm planning on using. And harvesters. Now we have the JF FCT 1060 ProTech. I think this is going to conflict with Manuel's hatch mod that I have. So instead we're going to use the Puttinger Grass Heckler. Heckler? That's a typo. It's supposed to be Grass Hexler. Yeah. The S and L are backwards. So we need 120 horsepower, which we got more than enough of. And it just fits the front 3 points. We'll be using it on maybe even the Deutz. Probably the New Holland though. You've not done much with soil mod. I recommend it if you want a challenge within the game. By default, the fertilization options in the game are terrible. Soil mod makes it so that you actually have to worry about what you're doing to the soil, which is kind of what Giants should do for FS17, I think, is put even a rudimentary soil mod in where we'll say if they don't want the full soil management and stuff like that, that's fine. But if they say, oh, if you fertilize once you get a bonus of 20%, but if you fertilize daily or every growth stage, and I would argue change every growth stage to once a day like soil mod has. If you fertilize per growth stage, so daily, you get a bonus. If you fertilize once, you get a bonus of, let's say, 20% on top of your yield. Because there is a base yield in Farm Sim. And if you fertilize once, you get 20% bonus. If you fertilize twice, you get 30% bonus. But if you fertilize every day and every growth stage, and they should really have extra growth stages in, you get a 110% bonus to your yield. Yeah, they would need to change the growth stage times. I'm arguing that they should have the same soil mod, where the crops grow one stage per day by default, and we'll say that's on normal settings. Slow is... I'll say one stage per day even on fast. Normal is one stage every 2 days, slow is one stage every 3 days. And that kind of extends... Yes, it does artificially extend the time you have to play the game to get anything done, but if they introduce a times 500 time compression in, you can get through a day fairly quickly. Now I use the time speed up mod, I think it is, so I can get times 1200 compression when I want to swap days, which is what I do to get through the nights on Knuston, is I just run a faster time. I think I might actually run through this night though, because I do need to do more work on the fields in the next in-game day, and I need to get the compost made, so I can do that overnight, because I can just throw on all of the lights in that area and get it. You know what I need to do is I need to get that placeable light mod and just stick a couple of them around the compost area, because then I can have floodlit composting, which realistically you would have. And then I can do all the composting at night and continue streaming, because otherwise I'll have to do off-camera work, which is what I want to try and avoid by doing the streaming, so kind of things. So that is PK laid down. Lovely. So that's going to be times 3 PK on that field, and if I grab this, and no, I want PK, which it should be around here. PK. I need times 4, so it's gonna take 2 PK away. I'll need to, in theory, do another PK spraying. Will I need to in theory, will I need to in practice? Because that'll bring it up to times 6, 5, 4. Yes, I'll need to spray PK again on that field. I'll need to spray N as well. Just solid N. And then I'll have to throw down some lime to counteract the pH change that throwing down solid nitrogen causes. That should be good. Yeah, I'll have to throw down lime on that field anyway, because the pH is perfect as it is. I'll be throwing down solid nitrogen, which will take 1 stage of pH away. 1 stage of pH will be going away as part of the growth cycle. And lime raises pH by 2 stages. So yes, I will need to do that. How are the other meadows doing? I think I just need to throw NPK down on these, do I? 3-1. Huh. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's throw PK on the other meadows as well. So, soil mod is all about trying to remember what exactly everything does. That's why I've got a little book. I've got my little book of soil mod right here. I've written down what everything does and what effect everything has. According to the guys that made soil mod. So, well, according to Decker, because I forgot his name a second ago. So in theory, by referencing that book, I should get 90% yields at worst. Discounting any rain, because that does. Will the newest version of soil mod work with maps made with the old versions? Yes. I didn't change the version of soil mod in this map. Works perfectly. Soil mod is a one-time install into a map. And if if you don't want to install soil mod yourself, if you are concerned about XML editing, which is fine. I mean, that's a thing that people can be concerned about, and it can be outside people's comfort zones. There is an installer available on Mod Hoster. There is a soil mod installer available on Mod Hoster. I don't know how it works, but the download page claims that you just choose your map and it will install soil mod into it. I don't know exactly how it works, but that is a thing. And obviously, I think I might have to use some minor edits to the map XML with. Don't ask if I'm putting multi-fruit in, will I? There's a lot of fruits I want in it. I'll have to find that page in a minute. You like learning how to do edits. I think that's one of the most fun things about modding, is learning how to mod. Because yeah, it's fine. It's fine asking somebody else to do it for you, but then you learn nothing. Yeah, you just, oh, I want this done. I'm gonna get somebody who just does edits on Facebook to edit the map for me. Well, that's great, but then you have to go back to that guy every time you want to do the same edit. Because presumably if you want one thing edited to do this, you'll want everything edited to do this. So I forgot to turn off the sprayer. You've done some experimenting with funny results. I've done the same. What's that? Oh, that's the hot air balloon. I'm not sure why, but I think the splines for that have decreased. I think that hot air balloon, something I've done in my edits with Knuston have caused that hot air balloon to sink. But yeah, I tried putting pig and beef on Knuston, and where I put it was horribly wrong. So none of the doors worked, which was inconvenient. So this isn't the first Knuston edit I've done. This is V2. This is actually V2 of my Knuston edit, because the first one didn't work at all. In fact, it's actually V3. I've just thought, it's actually V3, this is the third edit. The first one I decided against it because I was trying to do too much. So I reverted the back. The second one, where I tried to put pigs and beef in, that failed because I was a bit out of my depth there with the edit, and pig and beef just didn't work for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. And this is the third version, which I think I had to do some tinkering with to get it to work properly, but it does work, which is more than can be said about versions 1 and 2. But modding is trial and error. I can do some minor XML edits to vehicles, so missing L10s are not an issue for me. I can put some funny text in the L10s as well. And normally the L10 issues are because the mod author's German. And there's no L10 for the English translations. There we go. That's this meadow sorted for PK. You started with black map on FSUK to learn about making a map. That's exactly how I started Donetsk. Started with the blank map, followed the DEM tutorial that's on FSUK Bullet Bills one. Got a rough picture of from Google Maps, put it onto a sign, which is I think is part of the Bullet Bills tutorial as well, and I just kind of worked from there, and you can see how far Donetsk has progressed from a blank starter map that was essentially flat to something that's now starting to resemble a map. 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a minor... Oh, I've got to throw herbicide down here? I don't know what herbicide to throw down. Can I throw down any herbicide? I think I can throw down any herbicide. Oh my god, it's really light red on a really light brown background. I feel like Dr. Vesuvius right now. Just this music I associate with Dr. Vesuvius. Like, I know pretty much every YouTuber goes to Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech. But there are certain pieces that you associate with certain things. And this for me is just Dr. Vesuvius. There's one that I associate with Mindcrack for the their Super Hostile or whatever it is. Ultra Hostile. UHC. There's one piece I associate with that. You just kind of... You hear songs, places, and you say, oh, this is from this video, and this is from that video. And looking through the catalogue, you can kind of see which YouTubers prefer which feelings and whatever. And it's mainly the videos for the pieces from Happy I see or I hear on YouTube. So I choose the more threatening ones at times. That and I like metal. I'm a bit of a metalhead. Eyesight's going. You've been trying many maps, learn what you like on a map and what you don't. That is perfect, Summer. That's actually a piece of advice I give to anybody who wants to make a map. Is don't just jump in. What you need to do is you need to learn what style of map you like. For example, I like British and Irish style, which is why I'm making a map based near me. I like a tight map, so it's going to be reasonably tight. I like collidable hedges, so that's going to be a thing. And regardless of whether or not you're releasing the map, you do make it to your own likes and dislikes. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one playing the map the most more than likely. You know, it's why I've edited Knuston. I knew when I edited it that I'd be spending a few hundred hours on this map, and I already have, and my glasses are dirty. I hate maps where it's always German maps. Always German maps where you can just drive through all of the hedges and everything. And yes, a lot of the Irish-based maps have done that as well, which is infuriating. Because they got really nice scenery and then you can just drive through every hedge on the map, which is... It's fine if I'm playing casually, but if I'm doing something like this, where I'm trying to play seriously, I'm gonna just stop for a second and clean my glasses. Where's my... Yeah, if you wear glasses, screen cleaning wipes. Solution to glasses cleaning, right there. I'm gonna just clean my glasses real quick. It's almost always German maps that have collisions turned off on everything. And 2013 was worse because they turned collisions off on every tree. Now, if you wanted to, you could go through and spend 4 or 5 hours, and somebody did this on Cobra Park Farm, except doing it the other way around. Somebody spent a few hours on Cobra Park Farm and Giant's Editor, turning off collisions on all of the hedges, because they don't like collisions on hedges, which is fine, but yeah, it comes back to the you're playing a simulator, so why not play realistically argument. You don't like American maps with huge square fields. Yeah, I'm the same. I don't like Giants maps. Sosnovka is by far the best Giants map so far. Sosnovka and Bjornholm are the best Giants maps so far, just because it's not just square fields. There's I'm gonna say there's a bit of personality to those maps. I mean, yeah, Hagenstedt is the perennial favourite of everyone because it did have a... Hagenstedt, I think, has the most personality of any Giants map. Despite all of the fields being square, it just felt like it had a personality almost. And I know I'm way overspraying this field, but I can't see where I've laid PK already. I know why people do huge square fields, because you can do hard workers and courseplay a lot easier. But if I really wanted to, I could spend half an hour setting up courses for courseplay to do everything on this map. By the way, I'm not going to set up a tramlines course for this field. I don't see the point. It's going to be grass. Grass tends to be a bit more resilient than most crops, just by its nature. So we'll just say, for argument's sake, I'm running underinflated tires to spread the weight. Yes, exactly, sorry. If you look at Google Maps anywhere in the world, you don't see perfectly square fields. You do in Holland. I will be fair to the guys who made the Netherlands maps. A lot of the fields over in Holland are square and rectangular. But that's just because they're trying to make the most of the land they have. And they could plan out where the fields were. America. Some areas, Texas, Colorado, those kind of areas do have a lot of square fields. Europe does not have square fields, by and large. So I don't get why, why there are so many British and Irish maps where all the fields are perfectly square. You could argue Knuston has that issue, but the thing is, Knuston's based on a real farm. The fields are actually this shape and this size in reality, so you've got a pretty good counter argument there for, oh, Knuston's got all square fields, blah 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 blah. No, it's got roughly square fields, but that's the way they are in reality. Like on Saturday, because I will do a domestic stream here on Saturday with hopefully more Incompetech music, because that's happy with Content ID, which I don't want to get hit with, because that'll take the stream off immediately and kill the VOD. Or worse, mute the stream. So if you hear that if you see the stream getting muted and being replaced by a static image, let me know immediately, because something's gone wrong and Content ID has popped up on me. And as far as I'm aware, it doesn't let me know about that. But I'll show on Saturday during the next stream here on YouTube where I'll have copyright friendly music playing. I will do a quick show off of the actual area on Google Maps, because I've got the fields almost exactly where they are in real life, and yes, I am modifying them. I am turning it into a kind of a semi-imagined map. I'm not doing it Knuston style where it is 100% true to life. The fields are essentially true to life. The roads are semi-imaginary because I wanted a laneway connected to every field. The main road going through the map is true to life. That is truly there. The hills and stuff are kind of to fit the roads, more or less. But it's more or less what the area is. And as I discovered, the DEM is not happy with trees. DEMs hate trees because they can't tell what's a tree and what's the ground, so... Oops. I'm spraying PK everywhere, aren't I? Yes. Spreading PK everywhere. Let's refill that. The joy of Twitch. By the way, the reason I use copyright music on Twitch, they don't vet the streams live for copyrighted music, which... Well, two reasons. One, I don't monetize Twitch. Twitch is my chill stream. Twitch is... I don't have to do Twitch. That's my place where I go to chill out and listen to music and do a bit of work while I'm relaxing. YouTube is the more serious thing, which, yes, I do still stream, yes, I do still chill out. Is there a way to overlay part of Google Earth when making it? Yes, Summer. Bullet Bill has a tutorial on FSUK. I'll get you... I'm gonna stop very quickly and get you a link to that tutorial. Because I think I can post links, I believe. It is in here, I believe. Yes. I was wrong, it's actually Dorset's done the tutorial. Written the tutorial. Hopefully this works. That link there, Summer, if you can see it, which I hope you can, because I think I'm immune to my own rules. I think moderators and stuff are immune to rules. That's a link to Dorset's tutorial over on FSUK on how to use the any sign, any shape, any size mod to overlay some Google Earth when you're making a map. And one thing I will say, you're probably better off using that tutorial before you start with the DEM, because once you got the DEM in, you end up having to go up and down, moving the map up and down like a madman to try and get it working properly. So if you're doing the fields, we'll say, just overlay onto the flat map and work from there, then do the DEM or whatever, and you can do the same with the roads. You can just draw out the roads in asphalt or gravel or whatever you want, just so they stand out, and then you can get a road construction kit or something to that effect, which I didn't do, and now I know that I should have, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's too late for that now. I'm not spending 100 hours going back and restarting the map. Is that just an email? Yes. I am checking my phone because I'm expecting a phone call at some point from my parents to let me know they're on the way home. Potentially. Because I believe I'm the one supposed to be putting on the dinner tonight. It's pre-made, I just need to throw it in the oven and turn on the oven. Which is normally a recipe for a somewhat burnt dinner. But shepherd's pie, which is delicious. And nutritious. So that's that field done. Now we'll do the wonky double square meadow. Check if that needs PK, which I think it does. Sounds good, says Summer. Yeah, that tutorial I find extremely useful. 1, 4, 5. I'll be cutting it close with this area over here. Now I'm ignoring that little corner there because it doesn't make sense for me to work that corner with soil mod and all that. My video is not showing the farm. I forgot to change scene again in OBS, didn't I? Next time that happens, just start shouting scene because I didn't have OBS open. I left the spinner on. Sorry about that. Oh, the train has wrecked. I wonder can I get away with an NPK spray after this on this field. Not during this in-game day because soil mod needs to calculate and stuff. What is NK? That's crop growth. Cultivating stuff. That's plowing stuff. Multitasking. Windrows, shop straw, manure, slurry. Might be on the next page there. Fertilizer. Precisely what I wanted. On some maps, PDA does not match up where you are in the map. Why does that happen? Normally it's just the PDA map isn't 100% correct and true to the map. I've seen some cases where the PDA map was really a zoomed in version of what the actual map was, so you ended up flying around the map essentially because the map author wanted the map to look bigger than it was in the PDA. I'm just checking NPK's 3 and 1. Yeah, I can throw NPK down there. From what I can gather, I'm gonna say 50 to 60% of the time when it doesn't match up perfectly, it's just that the PDA map was offset in Photoshop or game for Paint.net or whatever photo editing software the particular map author used, and it's only slightly off, and it tends to, there seems to be a weird thing where it's more off at the top and bottom than left to right. So I think it might be a small glitch within Farm Sim itself at times. Normally it's pretty innocent and harmless, but there are occasions where the map maker has intentionally made the PDA wrong so the map looks bigger than it actually is, which I have seen in the past. Now, there's something I think I need to say. I don't like this PDA. I don't like the PDA for Knuston. I kind of think that it should be an image of the map and not some really heavily photoshopped thing. I don't mind map authors saying, "Oh well, this isn't standing out very well in the PDA. I'm going to I'm just going to draw a little black line over it in Game for Paint.net or Photoshop." That's fine. Hey, the gamer 200-ish. There's a lot of you, gamer. Which, what happened to the other 199-ish of you? Or is it just you hanging around today? Did you kill the other 199-ish of you, or... How you doing? We're 2 hours in. Good lord. Hey James, how you doing? Am I getting raided or something? Normally I don't get two people saying hi one after the other. It's just you, okay. What did you do with the other 199-ish of you? Are you the 200th one and you're the only clone that actually succeeded? Is that it? Sorry, I'm in a bit of a weird mood at the moment. I don't know why. I think I'm slightly dehydrated. I'm doing good, James. How are you doing? A lot of Jameses about tonight. Or this evening, or this afternoon. Whatever. Describe it how you want. Ah, water. Yes, I do drink straight out of the bottle because I'm the only one who ever drinks this water. Also, like, normal cups and glasses tend to be a bit too small for me. I will just drink a cup of water down at one go. That's much better. I did need a drink. I was actually getting slightly dehydrated because my throat was starting to hurt. Now I'm fine again. You're watching me for the first time. Well, welcome along then, James. Very nice to see somebody new around. It's always nice to see new people around. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm not normally as giddy as I am today. I'm in a weird mood. Also, I'm not normally wearing... Well, of late, I'm not normally wearing my glasses because I couldn't find them. Normally I don't wear glasses. I'm just having one of them. Oh, I think my eyes have actually adjusted again. Yes, my eyes have adjusted again. I can take off the glasses. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't need glasses to see. I just need them occasionally when my eyes get lazy. So I try not to wear them as much as possible. So some streams you'll see me with glasses, some you'll see me without. Most you'll probably see me with a hat because I can't be bothered brushing my hair. It's normally a disaster. And the gloves that you might be able to see are just me trying to keep my steering wheel clean, essentially. So you drive a 10-plate Ranger. What do I drive? I don't drive. I don't have a car. I don't drive. I don't have a license. That's something I need to try and fix this year. Is I need to get myself a driving license. Because that is very much necessary. Because public transport here is terrible. Although I don't really go anywhere, so I don't know if it matters all that much. I really don't... See, I want to learn to drive just so I can say I can drive, but at the same time, I've got nowhere to go. I mean, yeah, I could go hang out with friends a bit more, because... Summer, it depends on where he lives. If James is from Ireland, it means it's a 2010 Ranger. If he's from the UK, I have no idea. Do I in Ireland? Do I live in Ireland? Yes. Because the accent might have given it away. Yes, I live in Ireland. I am Irish. Hang on, James. If you're in Ireland, who says they're driving a 10 plate? I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, my car is a 10 plate." It's a 10. Or 131, or 141, 142. Never heard anyone say it's a 10 plate before. Like, I've heard 2010 being used, which is fine because that. Check out your YouTube. Lays replays. I might do. I'm gonna politely ask that you don't advertise your own channels in here, because I don't mind you talking about videos that you might have made, but I don't want people coming in and just saying, "Hey, check out my channel, check out my channel, check out my channel," because that kind of ruins the chat. And I'm gonna have to put that in the description from now on. And get a moderator in here somehow. You've always wanted to come to Ireland. It's not all that great. It's dark and rainy 90% of the time. And the only reason I'm able to stream now is because I finally convinced my ASP that I actually should get fiber broadband. Infrastructure here is terrible. Government's not as bad as Trump. Nothing is as bad as Trump. Because Trump is a fascist. That's all I'm going to say about politics. I don't like Trump and I don't like Putin because they're both essentially fascists. I don't like this, so nobody can like this. Okay. You can go sit in the fascist corner with Adolf Hitler. Trump will lead them into battle against the evil, evil foreign people. He'll be a matter. James, I don't mean to be rude. I'll probably just get a friend of mine to sit in the stream and just moderate. I don't want just randoms. I want yeah, Trump is the I've never seen anybody as fascist in my life. He is bordering on Hitler levels of fascism. But I want people I can trust to mod, because I don't want people abusing powers. I don't even know what the mod powers are on YouTube. But I don't want people abusing them. I think mods might be able to post links. I'm not sure. I know I can, because it's my channel and I can ignore my own rules. But if you try and post a link in chat, it won't let you. Trump is the new Hitler. Like, if Trump becomes president of the US, there is going to be major, major trouble. He is going to start a nuclear war. That is the most terrifying thing in the world, is Trump as president of America, with nuclear missiles at his fingertips. Just how terrifying is that thought? Is an idiot with nuclear weapons available. I hope America votes correctly. I'm one of the people who enjoy feeling the burn. I very much like Bernie Sanders' approach to the election. Summer, I think he's going to win the Republican primary. I think he's going to win the Republican nomination. I hope Bernie Sanders wins Democrat and just demolishes Trump in the polls. Because Bernie Sanders is the president America needs. He's a man that, yes, he has socialist policies, which America hates for some reason, despite the fact that they're fair to 99.9% of people. But he's the president America needs. Donald Trump is most definitely not. Donald Trump should be put in an insane asylum somewhere. Good lord. Like, how can a man that racist be seriously considered for a position of power? I know he runs his own companies and all, but a country isn't a company. And the American leader is essentially de facto leader of the free world. It's just the most terrifying thought in the world to have somebody like him. Yeah, socialist policies are good for everywhere. Like, I'm not a communist. I'm very much a I'm very similar to Bernie Sanders in my political leanings and beliefs. I very much believe that the rich should be taxed more than the poor, which is not what's happening pretty much anywhere in the world right now. I think that the poor should get more benefits than the rich from the legal system, which, again, is not happening anywhere in the world. And I think, you know, true equality means that everybody's treated the same in terms of the percentage of tax, the percentage of their money that goes into the political coffers and into the national system. Right. And right now, American poor people worldwide are paying more in tax. As a percentage, they're paying more of their income in tax than the richest people. I really think that Bernie Sanders is right with the... is he calling it the billionaire tax? Where he's gonna essentially take all of Wall Street's money away and make Wall Street prop up the entire American system, which really should have been done years ago. Because Wall Street has the most ridiculous amount of money anywhere. Bernie Sanders is most definitely the president America needs. And Donald Trump is the opposition he needs. Because it's essentially a madman versus somebody who actually speaks sense. So I actually want Trump to be the Republican candidate. And I want him to be up against Bernie Sanders. Because Bernie Sanders actually uses logical arguments. Whereas Trump is just, the Muslims are evil because I don't like Muslims. And they should wear badges showing that they're Muslim because that never happened in history before and it never went wrong and resulted in the deaths of 6 million people. That's why I try and avoid politics. I get really, really angry. Oh, good lord. Honestly, I can't believe that America is seriously considering Donald Trump as a presidential candidate. They'd be better off electing an actual dog or a monkey. Elect a monkey and he will do less damage than Donald Trump. He might burn down the White House, but he'll do less damage than Donald Trump. Elect a bull. Again, less damage than Trump. All the fine china in the White House will be gone, but less damage than Trump. I really don't get it. I don't get how Russians can support Vladimir Putin either, but that's more for personal reasons. I don't agree with any country saying, oh, the gays are evil. No. Martin Niemöller's poem. No, I've never heard of Martin Niemöller. I think I might have heard of Martin Niemöller. I don't think I've heard of his poem. I don't believe so anyway. But it's... The world is in a very dangerous place right now. With Syria being the biggest issue. And I really think that Donald Trump is not the person to be leading the American charge into this situation. Yes, he'll sort out the situation with Putin, but that's just because he wants the Russian oil money. And probably new Trump enterprises in Russia. But that's about all he'll do, is he'll sort out his own business interests first, and then the interests of the American nation second. Because I don't doubt for a second that you'll type it out. Go ahead. I don't know if there's a limit on how much you can type in comments. So be a bit careful. You might get automatically timed out or something by YouTube. First they came for the socialists and I did not speak out because I'm a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out because I was a trade union. I was not. Oh, I was not. How did I miss out the word not? I didn't speak out because I was a socialist, but they were coming for me. Oh, this is about persecution, essentially. They came for the socialists and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a socialist. They came for the trade unionists. I didn't speak out because I'm not a trade unionist. They came for the Jews. I didn't speak out because I'm not a Jew. Yeah, then they came for me. There's nobody left to speak for me because that's it. Yeah. And the real evil right now is the Muslims and the foreigners because scare tactics. Whereas in reality, the people trying to scare us into following their beliefs are the true evil. He spoke out against Hitler. Trump did? Or Niemöller? I imagine it's Niemöller because that sounds like a German name. Actually, it's not. It actually, not to be, not to sound anti-Semitic, it sounds like a German Jew name at that. There's just a ring to it. Spent 7 years in a concentration camp. That's not fun. Then again, most people at the time, unless they were blonde-haired, blue eyes, absolute Nazi fanatic who's straight and white, went to the concentration camps. Nazi Germany. And that's what America's looking at if Trump is elected. Because he is the most Republican I've ever seen. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video or anything. I watched one of the Republican debates. And, my God, I have never seen such a train wreck. I have never seen Trainwreck TV as good. You had Ben Carson talking nonsense in one corner, Donald Trump interrupting everybody in the middle, Ted Cruz just being Ted Cruz, and then everybody else just kind of stood around going, what? Am I... Where am I? Is this a thing? Am I a thing? These are supposed to be potential leaders of America? Good lord! There's sometimes you just watch these political debates, and yes, when I'm not in America and I'm not going to be able to vote, the result of this will affect the world. The result of the American elections does affect the world. And seeing the Republic... Oh my god, the money wasted on elections summer. What was Obama's costs for the last election? Was it $100 million? Or something like that? How many times you wish you didn't live there? I'm gonna be honest, summer every country's as bad. Liars and scumbags live everywhere. Not just America. Our politicians, for example, over here in Ireland, introduced water charges, which is fine. I mean, you know, it's fine to introduce a charge for maintenance. Maintenance of an essential system like water. You know, all the water pipes in Ireland are a bit old. That's fine. I don't mind them introducing a charge to sort out the water system. The issue is, there are many issues. The first issue was the Irish Water itself, the company now that is overseeing all of the water systems. It used to be done by the local councils, the county councils and town councils here, but Irish Water was set up so now all the former water workers from the county and town councils, as a result of some bizarre, dumb, stupid contract thing, had to be employed by Irish Water, so they got stupid overheads. Like, they are literally completely unprofitable. It's impossible for them to profit. So you know, that's nail in the coffin number one. Nail in the coffin number two is that this private company, it is non-state, it's semi-state, but it is for all intents and purposes a private company, has a monopoly. This private company has a monopoly on the water system in Ireland, which is anti-competitive, and there's going to be big issues there in a few years. It also has government funding, because it can't support itself, because it had to take on literally thousands of people more than it needed. That's nails in the coffins 2 and 3. And a coffin usually has, what, 6 nails? So I'll try and find another 3. Third nail in the coffin. Was it Samsung, I believe, offered free water monitors. So for free, they could have got all the monitors they needed to monitor water usage and figure out the charges for free. And they said, no, we're gonna spend 50 million on a contract with a company that owned by a guy who has a history of dodgy dealings, to say the least. He's actually being investigated by the Criminal Assets Bureau here. So that's an issue. He is literally a suspected criminal. Not gonna say a criminal, he is suspected. of being criminal. And there have been issues in the past where his dealings with government agencies have been found to be less than legal. Fourth nail in the coffin. Anybody who speaks out against water charges in a peaceful protest is branded as a thug. And there is, by Irish standards, police brutality where the police come in, get rid of all the protesters, and they're just over the top by Irish standards. By American standards, they're probably pretty peaceful, because no guns. But then again, there aren't a lot of black people to shoot in Ireland, so by American standards, Irish police are always very peaceful. What's the final name of the coffin? Because there is one more thing and I can't remember what it is. Oh yeah! The final thing that I think is abhorrent about the Irish water charges thing is if there is a fault in the water line, we'll say if there's a big freeze and all the water pipes crack because, you know, ice expands more than water, ice is less dense than water, so it expands. You have to pay for the damage. So all of the money you're paying for your water, even if you got a well and a septic tank, which is quite common in Ireland in rural areas, so that you can pretty much guarantee that you have a constant water supply. You have your own well and a septic tank for the disposal of waste. You have to pay charges, and if there's an issue, you have to pay for the repairs. So where's all this money going? To the people that are employed that probably shouldn't be employed there. And probably into the pockets of this man who is potentially a criminal who has in the past, I don't know where I'm going anymore, who has in the past had very, 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 very dodgy deals with the government. Specifically about mobile phone licensing and whatnot. Yeah, it's going into somebody's pockets now. And that's unfortunately how a lot of politics in Ireland works. Is cronyism. So you got the one guy at the top, Enda Kenny, our Taoiseach, our glorious leader, who can do no wrong and is refusing point blank to announce when the general election will be. It's supposed to be this year. I'm not voting for any of the parties in charge. I know who I'm voting for. And it is a party that has... It didn't post twice summer. Gardaí believe murder victim was shot dead. Murder victims tend to be shot dead. Normally. Maybe they were stabbed or something? I don't know. Listen, 999 operators in Ireland must ask permission to use the toilet. Are you serious? Is that... That's brilliant. Grown adults. Sorry, can I use the toilet, please? Good lord. Nanny state. I worked in a lab for 4 months where we literally were working 9, 10... I think it was about 11-hour days. At peak we had 2 shifts with a big overlap. With 1 hour where the first shift came in and just set up. 1 hour where the second shift... 1 hour where the first shift came in, set up and got everything ready for the day. And then the final hour was just the late shift, finishing everything up. And if we needed the toilet, we just went out of the lab and went to the toilet and swapped gloves and whatnot. And we were, you know, this lab, I'm not going to name it because I don't really need to, it's not of value to this story. This lab we went through, we went through 2,000 to 3,000 samples a day, and each sample needed individual handling for various things. It was BVD testing, testing for bovine viral diarrhea, which there was a government incentive. There was actually a government piece of legislation in place where every newborn calf in Ireland had to be tested, and there are labs set up across the country. I was working for one of them, and we got 2,000 or 3,000 samples a day in, and they took probably about 2 minutes each to, less than 2 minutes each to process properly. But, you know, when we're getting 2,000 or 3,000 samples in a day, and each one of them had to be soaked in a solution overnight, a specific amount of solution, so we were sat there with pipettes, or stood there with pipettes, literally just click, open sample container, get solution, put it in, close sample container, and go. Rinse and repeat hundreds and hundreds of times. And I managed 96 samples in 5 minutes. that's how quickly you have to do things. There are about 6 steps in doing one sample for the soak, and I could do 96 in 5 minutes. Like, that's... Yeah, you have to be ruthlessly efficient at what you're doing and know exactly what you're doing. So this 999 operators need to ask permission to go to the toilet is complete nonsense. If they need to ask permission to go to the toilet, they're not working hard enough. They're not working efficiently enough. What do I need to do now? Because there is something else I need to do. This music is so fitting for how I feel right now. That's why I get so irritated with a lack of efficiency. And I know that I have a complete lack of efficiency on this farm, but that's why I don't have many tractors. It's cost efficient. It's in. Comes a time when you just think, how on earth did my hands manage to hold up? And the answer is they actually didn't. There were many days when I finished up for the day and I had a big welt on one of my fingers. Weekends were just Farm Sim 13 all day. They usually do that. They're usually brand. Having to ask permissions to go to the toilet, or just working insanely efficiently. Because I have to admit, it is fun just working 100% efficiently. Ear-notch cows running around, yeah. That's what the BVD samples were from. Was from the notches. Because in the EU you have to have tags on your cattle, and it was the EU specification tags that were being used for the samples. The tags knocked a notch out of the calf's ear, and put it into a holder. Yeah, BVD testing. It's that's when it was done here, as well as during tagging, which is what you'd probably call not branding. And we had to. Oh my god! The most irritating thing was when there were positive samples, and you had to tell the farmer that, oh yeah, you sent in a second sample here. Are you definitely 100% sure you want a retest? Because you sent in a sample before and it turned out positive, and whatnot, and ringing them up about positive samples. And I'm gonna put down a placeable pile. That was not the right button. Oh, because I've got negative money. Lovely. but farmers are at times the most infuriating people to try and deal with professionally. Is it R? Branding is on to show ownership and cattle and horses. Yeah, it's tagging here. There's tags put in the ears of all cattle in Ireland, in Europe, and you can run the tag, and it says Ireland are getting extra tickets to Euro 2016 after discussions with UEFA. That's nice to hear. UEFA should want as many Irish fans as they can get Euro 2016, good lord. It's different than BVD testing. It is different, but here the tags were actually used as the sampling device. It was used to take the samples because it was a lot easier than trying to train farmers into using a piece of new equipment that could be very confusing for them. There was just a special notcher and a special set of tags sent out, and it was sent out with very specific instructions on how to use it, which like 90% of farmers completely ignored, and we had to try and figure out who sent what. Because, hey, why should I learn something new? It's the family business. I know exactly what I'm doing. We've been doing this for hundreds of years, for decades. You should learn to do something new because it is something new. You haven't had to do this before. So you're completely ignoring all of the rules we've set out, potentially invalidating your own tests and making them all positive. Which, by the way, if an animal got tested positive twice, actually once, there was an option of getting a retest done, or the other option was put the animal down because BVD is untreatable. So, a false positive is a big thing, because those animals that are put down cannot be used for human consumption. They're worthless. And these farmers that sent in kind of half tags and half samples and all that, yes, it's. I know you get into your routines. When I was doing the videos, I had a very set routine, but I did have to change it because, hey, the system didn't work. It needed to change. I'm streaming now because, hey, the system I was using worked fine, but this is better. I have a better way of doing things. But a lot of farmers, especially with family farms, it's mainly family farms have this issue, where they've grown up knowing all their life, oh, I'm going to be working on the farm. I don't need to learn anything. No, that's really not how it works at all. You're going to work on you're going to work on the farm, so learn as much as you possibly can about the best way to do it, so that you can save money. For example, I have two uncles who are both cattle farmers. They both run suckler herds. Suckler herds, if you don't know what they are, somewhere, or anybody else watching, they are, you grow calves, you suckle them off to the mother, and then you sell the calves on. There's nothing wrong with being a routine. It's just if the routine is inefficient or bad, it needs to change. And sometimes it's better to change up a routine anyway, because you get stuck into your ways and you never make progress. I got two uncles who are farmers. They both run suckler herds on reasonably good land. One has been to agricultural college. One has not. Okay, that's a very big difference. The one that's been to agricultural college is running his farm. The one who hasn't been to agricultural college can't tell the difference between a Frisian cow, which is the stereotypical black and white cow, and a limousine cow, which tend to be brown and slightly bigger. He can't tell the difference. He is literally a cattle farmer. His entire life is running a cattle farm. He can't tell two different breeds apart. The uncle who's been to agricultural college, however, has decided that instead of growing limousines and Frisians and that sort of stuff, he's going to go for a very specific French breed because they are more valuable. They are more valuable, easier to keep, easier to maintain, and more cost efficient once he gets breeding up and running fully. Now that's two completely different ways of doing it. One guy is in a routine so badly and so bad that he can't tell his own cows apart. The other is after saying, okay, well this is working fine, but there is a better way. There is a better method of doing this. I've researched it. This is 100% going to improve the farm and make things easier for me, keep costs down, bring more money in. Could you imagine a cereal farmer not knowing the difference between wheat and barley? Or, a sheep farmer not being able to tell the difference between a sheep and a goat. I don't know if there are different breeds of sheep. I presume there are. But yeah, that's... And the worst thing is, the uncle who doesn't know how to tell two different cattle apart is the norm in Ireland. He's the norm as the person that, oh, well, I'm going to work on the farm. I don't need to learn anything because my father's told me everything I need to know because he's worked here for 50 years and he's stuck in his ways. Although the one big advantage of Irish cattle is they are grass-fed, so they are actually... and this is fact, the beef from Irish cattle is tastier and more tender than pretty much anywhere else in the world. So if you go to a really top-class French... Montana has a lot of sheep. Is it like New Zealand where there are more sheep than people? But if you go to a really top-class French restaurant in Paris, specifically in Paris, I know, probably across France, but in Paris in particular, a lot of the top-class Michelin star, you're spending, $50-$60 for a single pea and a sprig of asparagus, classed as a salad. They use Irish beef because it is the most tender, most delicious beef in the world. Because our cattle are grass-fed. That's why I'm planning on grass silage instead of corn silage for the cattle here in Knuston. It's about 2 people per sheep. That's not too bad. I think Ireland has more cows than people. Which is kind of concerning. The animals are taking over the world, I swear. I might do another domestic stream tonight over on Twitch, I don't know. The Twitch streams will be just kind of random times. I won't have a schedule on Twitch. Just so that everybody's aware, the best way to find out if I'm on Twitch is to follow Twitter or the Twitch itself. I will put up videos as I'm going live, but the streams will be random lengths. There won't be... Have I been live for almost 3 hours? Now I can see how people on Twitch can have 8-hour streams. Montana doesn't have a big population. I guarantee it has a bigger population than Ireland. Ireland is ridiculously underpopulated. As a direct result of the famine. Back in the 1800s. Ireland had, I think it was 6 million people before the 1845 famine. And today, modern day, the Republic of Ireland, which is what all the statistics from the pre-famine era are about, has 5.5 million people. So, almost 200 years later, the population is still down. In fact, it was only about 1 million people. Oh. That's a lot less than I thought. But, yeah, 200 years later, almost. Was it 169 years later? Was it actually slightly less? 160 years later. The population is still down by about 500,000 people from what it was in the 1800s. And in fact, the first time since the famine that the Irish population officially increased was 1965. Or in the mid-60s. So you have literally 100 years. Hey Nighthawk, how you doing? But you had literally 100 years of population decrease. Yeah, Ireland lost it through emigration and death and disaster. 3 million people over the course of 100 years. Most of them ended up in America, which is why New York is so... actually, most of them ended up in New York, which is why the whole stereotypical New York cop is Irish thing is a thing. Because... You're good. I'm very good, Nighthawk. I've been going through giddy phases today, so... You have to deal with it. Also, I need to figure out what's going wrong with Farm Sim, because for some reason it's not letting me use both my controllers anymore. And that is a big issue. Because I don't like using the mouse for loader work. I'm guessing there's just a small issue somewhere, and it could be mod related somewhere along the line. Do I have any loader... like mods that affect loaders? I don't think so. 3 million over 100 years. That's what, 30,000 people a year leaving the country for one reason or another. And they say that the Syria thing is, oh, it's the biggest mass movement of people since World War II. Yes, but well, honestly, the Irish beat them in terms of mass movement from a single country per year. Because it's Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, and to an extent Iran, I believe. What kind of steering wheel do I use? I use the Logitech G27 because the Cytec steering wheel for Farm Sim is an absolute joke. It is a toy, it is not a wheel. Also, I played Project Cars and iRacing and Assetto Corsa, game Stock Car, which I believe is getting renamed again. I can't remember what it's going to be called, but it's getting renamed again. And well, not renamed, it's actually getting re-released as a new game. But because I own GSCE, or Game Stock Car Extreme, I will be getting the new game free of charge from Riza Studios. It's an overpriced toy, yes, Summer. It's what, the same price roughly as a G920 or a pre-owned G27, which is all you can get in terms of G27s now. Honestly, if I had to choose between a Logitech G27 Driving Force GT G25 or G920 or the Cytec wheel, I choose the Logitech every single time because it's just more of an all-around useful thing. I mean, the Cytec wheel doesn't even have force feedback, for God's sake. It's got a apparently a very wonky centering spring, from what David Oldfield's been saying in his videos. So the centering spring isn't very good in the Cytec wheel. There's no force feedback, which I need for my racing games. I just need force feedback, and it's very weird not having it in Farm Sim. It's made of plastic, which it's going to break quickly. G27 should work on PS4. Not sure why it doesn't. You need to get a PS4 wheel. Oh man. I'd say sell the G27, get a G920 or G29 or whatever one works with the PS4. Or just get Project Cars on PC. There's no mods for Project Cars on PC, which is a bit of a shame, but it actually, I believe, is more, there's no free space in this place. Oh, the Compost Master's full. I think Project Cars on, it works on PS3, not PS4. Because Sony. Of course, because Sony. You're thinking about getting some kind of wheel. Nighthawk, get a G27. Find a G27. The G920 is a bit overpriced for what you get. G27 is going to be more expensive, I think, because it's been moved out of production. It's no longer in production, but you actually get more for your money. Although I think the G920 or G29 or whatever one it's called this week, I believe that has better gearing in the wheel. It's got a better drive system. But the G27 you get an 8 shifter, which honestly, if you're going for sim gaming, you need an 8 shifter. It's just a thing that you need. That's the full. Oh, whoa, what am I doing? What am I doing? That's still the full one. Hey Pedro, how you doing? You've only missed like 3 hours. I don't know what I can do now. I've run out of things to do. I'm probably gonna finish up soon, because I need to figure out where on earth my e-cig went last night. You were assembling track. What track were you assembling? What kind of mod do I use to make the camera do that? I use the keyboard steering mod. Is it better keyboard steering? I think it's called. It's in the mod list somewhere. I think towards the bottom, because I haven't alphabetized it in a while. Oh, you build models as one of your hobbies. That is pretty cool. This is pretty much my main hobby, is farm sim and making Donetsk. They're my two hobbies, is building a map and virtual farming. Oh, whole trains! Summer, keep it clean! Pedro can put whatever he wants in his trains. Ah, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back in a moment. There we go. How was the train scale? I'm sorry, Summer. That's the shortcut. No, that's not the shortcut. That was control. That was odd. There we go. Nice bit of chaos. I've missed it now. So as my parents just said that I'm not to put on the dinner, I'm to make something for myself because they had something to eat at the funeral, and they decided to stop in visit my sister who's asleep and not coming home tonight, which is lovely. Is anybody going to play ATS? I might. It really depends on the price at launch, Nighthawk. Money is an issue at the moment with me, so pizzas this summer. I don't know if there's a pizza downstairs at all. I'm not gonna order in because that costs money. I'm just gonna find something in the fridge and make it because I'm lazy and cheap. I might play it, yes. Depends on price, essentially. Pizza envy. I don't drink Summer. That's just... It's cheap on instant game. The issue, Pedro, is I don't trust most outlets. I think they said it'd be €20 at $20 at launch, which is a reasonable price, I think. And it comes with $14.49. That is, I think, is that what it is on instant gaming? I haven't looked at the Steam page at all. But I think somewhere around the €20 mark is a reasonable amount to pay, even with Steam's markup, because Steam does have a markup. Because hey, Steam's gotta get paid because Valve doesn't make games anymore. That's on there. I know that at least with the I believe that at least with the Steam version, you get California, is it they're launching with straight away, and then the Nevada DLC for free once that releases. I don't know about instant gaming thing. Does instant gaming give you Steam keys, Pedro? Because that'll be the Steam version. Is the instant gaming the one you can buy on instant gaming? Does that give you a Steam key? Because I might look at that. Oh, it does. Oh, I'll almost definitely look at that then. Because I know G2A is not a place you want to go for Steam keys. G2A, never trust G2A because they have had issues with grey market keys and black market keys. Less than legit keys on Steam. So I think I'm going to end up the stream in a minute. I've never used G2A, Pedro. I just know that it's not trustworthy. GOG, Good Old Games, is another good place for getting games, especially if you like classic games. GOG.com is the place to go. They regularly have ridiculous sales, absolutely ridiculous sales. For example, I got all of the first 3 Fallouts, so Fallout, Fallout 2 and Fallout Tactics, for free on GOG. CD keys is really cheap too. That sounds like a dodgy website, I have to admit. Because I've had my pirating days and I think they're over. Unless I completely run out of money again, then I'll kind of have to. And that's kind of the thing about piracy, is a lot of the time it's not a company losing a sale, it's somebody getting something they wouldn't otherwise have done. Because when I pirated Farm Sim 13 originally, and and ETS 2 for that matter. Pirated both of them because I wanted to try them out without kind of losing money. And I'm one of those ethical pirates who will in fact buy the games if I enjoy them. So I enjoyed Farm Sim, so I bought it. I enjoyed Euro Truck, so I bought it. I haven't played Euro Truck as much as I probably should have, but that's kind of a secondary issue. Piracy is fine if you're willing to actually buy the game if you really enjoy it. I don't like pirates who like pirate a game, play it to completion, and then say, "Oh well, I'm an ethical pirate, but I really didn't enjoy that game." You finished it, of course you enjoyed it. Don't give me that nonsense. I don't think there's anything I can do for a while. I just need to leave the game run in the background almost. Actually run the Profi Hopper and just make sure the sheep have all their money. The sheep have all their money? All the grass they need. I don't think I've actually used the Profi Hopper on camera for a while. Not since Wallpaper Park Farm. That disaster on my PC pretty much exploded and killed off the old hard drive. I forgot to back up my save games. But it is nice to play, believe it or not, this is Farm Sim maxed out on Knuston. It's all running nicely, smoothly. But I will be I'll be finishing up very soon to get some food, because I am getting hungry. Yeah, I said that somewhere. They said it's going to be about $20 at launch. Somewhere around that region, which is, I think, for SCS, I think they, you know, for a game by SCS, $20 is more than reasonable. That's very cheap. Because SCS, despite making simulators, is very much a AAA developer. Giants, very much indie, because they're indie with a AAA mindset, because they don't seem to listen. Giants don't seem to listen. SCS very much AAA quality with an indie mindset where they do listen. Yeah, it'll be €20 on Steam, won't it, Pedro? I don't get that. Europe gets screwed over by Steam so much because they can't be bothered converting prices. So that's the sheep full. I'm just gonna fill up the Profi Hopper again. That's the wrong turn. I'm gonna fill up the Profi Hopper again, and because there's literally nothing else to do today, I've managed to catch up to where I want to be. or to the point where at least I don't need to be running around like a madman doing everything. I'll finish up quite soon. On Thursday we will be yeah, instant gaming is kind of a lifeline. Places that aren't Steam, yes, I use Steam for everything, but places like instant gaming are a bit of a lifeline. Especially for currency conversions. I'm going to be finishing up very, very shortly. On Thursday, we will be... I guess we'll be running with faster time on. I'll probably boost the time to 5x or something. And we'll be working on the compost master. Getting compost made, because there's nothing needs to be done to the fields today. Nothing else needs to be done to the fields in this game day. So we're literally just working on compost now, which is nice. If we go through a night, what I'll do is I'll get some light mods and get them ready to be installed. And then Thursday we'll be working on compost around that area. Hopefully going through the night and then selling off the compost, keeping all the money. We're not going to buy anything this round. We're not going to buy anything because we need to pay off the loan, which is currently set at $200,000, 200,000 euros. We're 264,000 in debt, so we need to pretty much pay off our loan. And then the finance office mod's going to come in and take away a lot more money again. But if we got the loan paid off, we know exactly how much we're in the hole, and it's going to be a bit easier. Also, I just noticed that the wool pallet has spawned clipped into the ground. I'm not sure if that's something I've done or if that's a genuine issue with the map. But the wool pallet is clipped into the ground. That might need to be fixed. In any case, I'm going to leave it here for the stream. I'm going to run off somewhere and get a screenshot somewhere pretty. And get a thumbnail made up. If you haven't noticed, I have a thumbnail made up for the big farm now. From that rather comical moment where both of our loaders managed to get intertwined and float on each other yesterday evening. So until tomorrow, when we'll be back on the big farm and hopefully not tangling our loaders up again. Stay safe and goodbye. And thank you all very much for coming. Thanks for coming, Summer. You've been around almost the entire stream. You are insane, my friend.